Hello, dear students. I'm Meenakshi, PGT English, and our topic is a photograph. It's a poem written by Shirley Tulson. Dear students, before we begin the poem, it is very important to know what are the expected learning outcomes. What all you will be able to learn through this poem. Dear students, you will be able to improve the four language skills of listening, speaking, reading, and writing. There are four skills in any language, and after this poem, you will definitely improve all the four skills. You will be able to understand and appreciate the theme of the poem. You will be able to recite the poem with proper pronunciation, and your vocabulary will improve. Dear students, you will learn about poetic devices that are used in the poem, and you will be able to understand and appreciate poetry as a literary form. Also, you will be able to recall your own childhood experiences with your friends or relatives. You will be able to develop your creativity and your writing skills will be improved. Dear students, you will be able to develop critical thinking skills as well. Before we start the poem, let's learn something about the poet. The poetess Shirley Tulson. She was born in 1924 in England on 20th of May. She is a writer and a poetess. Actually, she died in 2018. She was an editor of a magazine as well, and she has written several books. The poem that we are going to read now, A Photograph, it is a tribute to her mother. She has written this poem as a tribute to her mother. Let's begin, dear students. This is the text, A Photograph, written by Shirley Tulson. Now we are going to recite the poem. Please pay attention to the intonation and how the words are pronounced. The cardboard shows me how it was when the two girl cousins went peddling, each one holding one of my mother's hands, and she, the big girl, some 12 years or so. All three stood still to smile through their hair at the uncle with the camera. A sweet face, my mother's. That was before I was born. And the sea, which appears to have changed less, washed their terribly transient feet. Some 20, 30 years later, she would laugh at the snapshot. See Betty and Dolly, she would say, and look how they dressed us for the beach. The sea holiday was her past, mine is her laughter. Both rive with the labored ease of loss. Now she has been dead nearly as many years as that girl lived. And of this circumstance, there is nothing to say at all. Its silence silences. Well, dear students, it's a short but a very beautiful poem. It evokes the feelings of nostalgia. The poem's tone is a bit melancholic. This is a glossary at a glance. The words that are used in the poem, it is very important to know the meaning of these words. Cardboard. The very first line is the cardboard shows me how it was. Now, what is cardboard? Cardboard is a very stiff paper board on which the photograph was pasted. The photograph of the poet's mother and her two cousins. The poet is looking at this photograph. The girls went paddling. Paddling means to walk barefoot through the shallow water at the seashore. Big girl, my mother, the big girl. Yes, the big girl here refers to the poet's mother because she was the eldest among the three girls. Still, Still here means to not move at all, without moving or shaking because the girls were striking a pose. Smile through their hair. Smiling faces of the girls could be seen through their hair because their hair was flying over their faces. The girls had left their hair open and the cool breeze, because of the cool breeze, their hair was flying. Terribly, terribly here is associated with the memory of her mother's death. Transient. Transient means short-lived, temporary. Human life is transient. It is short-lived. Snapshot. Snapshot means a photograph. Dressed us. Put on clothes. Labored. Labored means something that is achieved after a lot of hard work. Labored. Something done with great effort. Ease. Ease means comfort. Wry. Ironic. Mocking. Circumstance. Circumstance means this situation. Silence. Silence is a complete absence of sound. These are the words which are used in the poem. Now, dear students, let's start with the explanation of the poem. We will take all the three stanzas one by one. This is stanza number 1. On the screen of your device, to your left side is the text, and to your right hand side is the explanation of the first stanza. The cardboard shows me how it was when the two girl cousins went paddling, each one holding one of my mother's hands, and she, the big girl, some 12 years or so. All three stood still to smile through their hair at the uncle with the camera. A sweet face, my mother's. That was before I was born. And the sea, which appears to have changed less, washed their terribly transient feet. Dear students, in these lines, the poet looks at a photograph. The cardboard. The cardboard here refers to the photograph. The poet is looking at a photograph of her mother and two girl cousins of her mother. This photograph was taken when her mother was 12 years old. Her mother had gone for a sea holiday with her cousins Betty and Dolly. While they were paddling on the beach, they stood still to pose for the photograph. The photograph was clicked by their uncle. Each of the cousins was holding the hands of the poet's mother. The poet's mother was the eldest of the three girls. She was in the middle, and her cousins were holding her hands. All three of them stood still to pose for the photograph, smiling through their hair when this photograph was taken. Her mother had a sweet face that time, but it was a time when the poet was not even born. As was told earlier, at that time, the poet's mother was only 12 years old. So it was long before the poet was born. That time, the poet's mother had a sweet, innocent face. Years fled past since then. A lot has changed since then. The photograph was taken when the poet's mother was only 12 years old, and a lot has changed since then. Her mother grew up into an adult, she got married, the poet was born. But what hasn't changed? The sea. The sea appears to have changed less. The sea hasn't changed much. But the poet's mother and her cousins, they had transient feet. The transient feet here means the human life is transient. It is short lived. but the nature is permanent. The sea here refers to nature. It does not change much. They all underwent changes while the sea stood still, unchanged. Let's move on to stanza 2. Again, to your right is the explanation, and to your left is the text. Stanza number 2. Some 20, 30 years later, she would laugh at the snapshot. She here refers to the poet's mother. And the poet's mother, some 20 or 30 years later, means when the poet's mother was maybe 32 or 42 years old. So she would look at the photograph and she would tell her daughter, the poet, "See Betty and Dolly? And look how they dressed us for the beach." She would share this memory with her daughter. She would look at the photograph. The poet's mother would look at the photograph and she would laugh at the photograph. She would laugh at how they were dressed for the beach. The sea holiday was her past, mine is her laughter. Both rye with the labored ease of loss. Some 20 or 30 years later, the poet's mother laughs looking at her own photograph that was taken by her uncle. She finds her photo funny because of the way in which their parents had dressed them for the sea holiday. She would tell her daughter to look at her cousins Betty and Dolly, and she would laugh. She would laugh at the way their parents had dressed all three of them. They would have planned to take a photograph beforehand, it seems. The poet recalls the sea holiday was her mother's favorite moment from the past. And the poet's favorite moment from the past was her mother's laughter. This is the poet's past. The poet's past is her mother's laughter. Why is it past? Because her mother is not alive anymore. The same way, the mother's past was the sea holiday. When she was a little girl of 12, it was her past, it was the mother's past. Now, what is the poet's past? The poet's past is her mother's laughter. She recalls how her mother used to laugh while looking at the photograph. Both the women would think about those past memories, which they cannot live again. So the tone here is a bit melancholic. Why? Why is the tone sad? There is nostalgia in this stanza. The poet's mother would feel nostalgic while looking at the photograph. She would fondly remember her childhood, the carefree days. She would look at the photograph and she would recall that sea holiday. And now the poet recalls her mother's laughter because her mother is not alive anymore. So it is the poet's past. The women tried their best to adjust to what they lost. The poet's mother could not do anything about it. Her childhood was lost long ago. She could only remember that sea holiday. She could not bring back those days. In the same way, the poet can only remember her mother, but she cannot bring her mother back to life. The poet's mother is dead, and there is nothing she can do about it. Dear students, let's move to last stanza, stanza 3. Now she has been dead nearly as many years as that girl lived, and of this circumstance there is nothing to say at all. Its silence silences. This stanza is the most melancholic, the saddest of them all. The poet is so overwhelmed with grief that she has no words to express her grief. The poet says that her mother died nearly 12 years ago, the same age her mother was in the photograph. Remember, in the photograph, the poet's mother was only 12 years old, and now the poet's mother the poet's mother has been dead since 12 years. Whenever the poet thinks of her mother's death, she cannot explain what effect she has of her mother's death. How much her mother's death has grieved her, how much her mother's death has affected her. The poet has no words to describe her grief. She is silence. She is silent in this circumstance. In this situation, she remains silent because she has no words to describe her grief. Her mother's death has silenced the poet. The poet has become speechless, and she has no words to soothe or console herself in this circumstance.